Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Psychosin project here on Total Metal Radio, and with me today I have got Joey and Vera from Armoured Saint. Welcome to the show, Joey.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
No problem at all. Now, you've just released your new album, Win Hands Down. Was this a hard or easy album to create?
Oh, well, I think they're all hard. I don't think any of them are ever easy. So, this one's no exception. It was a lot of work.
Yeah. Now, have you been playing any of the new tracks from the album live prior to the album's release?
Yeah, we just finished a string of dates with Psychosin here. Finished this weekend, in fact.
Yeah.
And we're playing a few new songs. We're playing the title track, "Win Hands Down," and we're also playing "Mess."
Yeah.
In the set.
How did the shows with Saxon go?
They were amazing. It's a lot of fun on certain levels, just because we've done shows with these guys in the past, and they are super cool guys. Very down to earth. Very we get along really great with them, and they are just a blast to be with. Not to mention a great band. And the shows are just fantastic. It's a great bill here in the U.S. People, the fans are just ecstatic over seeing both of these bands on the same bill. So I think it's a good matchup. It's a lot of the same crowds, so it's just been bonkers. Just about every show has been sold out.
Well, that's what you want, really, to sort of look out and see the crowd going mental, isn't it, really?
Yep. Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, have you found that the band has had more success since you reformed a fair few years ago?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know how to measure success these days, I mean, it's funny, but, the only way I can really measure it nowadays is when I sort of look back and think, when we were kids, we just wanted to be in a band and play music and make records, and,
yeah.
Part of it was, some of it had something to do, success. Sometimes you think, selling millions of records and all that. Well, that part of it didn't quite work out, but, we've been doing this for 30 years now.
Yeah.
And, we're still making records and still playing great shows with people, and a lot of people come to see us, and still doing interviews, and people still care about what we're doing. And so on that level, I think we are successful. So I don't know more. I just think that we're still doing it is I don't know. It's a testament to the fans that we have.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you're still in the scene. You're still creating music. You can't really be more successful than that. I mean, to be doing it 30 years down the line since you formed, as you said. Now, how would you yourself describe the sound of the band?
Well, we've always been a very high-energy band, even from day one. So we're a super high-energy group to see, especially live. We put on a pretty sweaty show. This record in particular, though, Win Hands Down, we wanted to make it a very big record, a very huge and epic-sounding record, and it was our intention to push the boundaries as far as production goes and also song arrangements.
Yeah.
And so we just really wanted it to be just super huge, and so I don't know. I mean, I've been describing this new record as epic sounding.
I mean, I've had a chance to hear it, and it is fantastic album. I have to say, you've done really well with it. Now,
Great.
For those who haven't heard the new album yet, because obviously I believe it was released here yesterday, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
What can people expect to hear from the new album who haven't, as I said, heard it already yet?
Well, as I said before, it's big and epic. There's lots of overdubs. There's tons of melodies. It's got a lot of guitar playing on it, a lot of great riffs, and a lot of great guitar work. And John Bush's vocals are better than ever. So it's just got great songs, and it's kind of a package deal,
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I've listened to it. It does sound like you've all definitely brought your A game to the table with this record.
Great. I mean, we really tried to push ourselves and really make some of the parts even challenging to play, and challenge the listener a little bit with some of the arrangements, and I hope we got there because we wanted it to just be huge,
Yeah. Now, for those who haven't seen you live, such as myself, unfortunately, how would you describe the live experience of Armoured Saint?
Well, as I said a second ago, we're a very energetic live band, and we've always been that since day one. We've always tried to put on a good show, and we don't stand around looking at our toes. Let me put it that way. We like to get engaged with the crowd, and we like to keep energy levels super high. And I think that's what you can expect. Just some over the top experience.
Excellent. Now, after so many years and albums, what do you do to keep the band sound fresh for yourselves and for the fans?
I think that we've always sort of been sort of wanderers in the sense of that we've been, the records that we make have never been the same twice.
Yeah.
We've always made a record, and the following record is always different than the one preceding it.
So it's kind of like when you work on a new album again, you make sure it's a reaction and as distance from the last record you did as you can be.
It's funny, we don't really sit down and say that, like, let's make a different record than the last one. We've never really done that. It's always more about being a reflection of where we were at that particular time in our lives, and the kind of music that was influencing us at the time, or some experiences that we went through at the time. That all that stuff creeps into the music that we write and create. So that's always been kind of an unspoken ingredient that we've always fueled the making of our records.
Yeah.
The thing with us is that we never really wanted to repeat ourselves either, which by some case and by some standards is actually a kind of a death threat. Maybe it's something that maybe has hindered our career, but it's just been something that I have chosen to do, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And this record's no exception, but we just try to, when I was writing the music for this record, we were making an effort to sort of push our limits a little bit in terms of song arrangements and orchestrations of certain parts of songs, and how many musical sections we have and all that. But at the same time, I'm keeping in mind some things that I feel like we do well, that our fans are familiar with, certain rhythm section things, or the way guitar riffs are played, things like that. I try to keep those things in mind so that that our fans have some familiarity to it. But at the same time, we have to make the music interesting for ourselves. I mean, we are somewhat self-indulgent. I mean, in the fact that we just write music that we want to hear, we sort of please ourselves first,
Yeah.
But we don't completely abandon fans and what we think they are going to appreciate. I mean, we certainly take some of that into consideration as well.
Yeah. Now, how have you found that the general reaction to the new album, The Excellent Win Hands Down, has been so far?
So far, it's been pretty phenomenal. It's been just nothing but just amazing, and it's pretty much blowing us away because every time we make a record, we have no idea. We're so close to it, and we don't really let that many people hear it, so we hold it very close, and then you get to a point where you have to let it go, and you don't know what to expect. So we have no idea. And since we make records that are sort of unique and they're individualized in that sense, we're even more vulnerable because we don't know what people are going to think. But so this time the reaction's just been amazing, and the record labels nowadays they release several tracks before the record release, so people have had a taste for the past month and a half of what the record was like, and the response has just been really phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I've heard the album, it's absolutely superb. I'm not surprised you're getting that kind of reaction. I actually did a review of it for my YouTube channel, praising how good it was as well. So, now, what are the plans for the future of the band?
Well, in a week and a half, we're flying to France. We're playing Hellfest Festival there on June 11th. And then we come home for a bit, and then we do a one-off show in Las Vegas, which we're headlining July 11th, and then about a week after that, we go back to Europe, and we're doing a string of festivals, starting with Wacken in Germany, and we're doing Bloodstock in the UK. We're doing Free and Easy Festival in Munich, and we're doing Alcatraz Festival in Belgium, and we're doing a string of shows with Queensryche. One of which is going through London, and Death Angel is also on that bill. So that's in late July, early part of August. So that's what we have planned so far. We also are talking about doing a second video.
Yeah. We
have a first video is done for Win Hands Down. We're talking about doing a second video in the coming month. And we are also going back to Germany in December. We're doing a few shows with Accept in Germany in December.
Yeah.
And that's all that's booked so far. But we're all trying to do some more dates, go to some other territories, and just keep going out there and playing.
Yeah, just basically keep yourself busy and promote the album as much as possible, basically.
Yep.
Now, on the new album, obviously, you have Pearl a Day from Motor Sister. Was there anyone else you were considering having as guests on the album?
Not really. This thing really came up where John was he wanted to. We contacted Pearl, since we're all good friends with her, and she was excited to do it right away. But we kind of doing, but it just didn't feel right, The only other person that we had contribute some key was piano was a friend of mine named Eric Ragno.
Yeah.
Dive with a piano section and strings and stuff, and I asked him to really take it to the next level. So he's another guy who contributed to the record too.
Excellent. Now, have you got any plans for a live DVD or album in the future?
No, but everyone asks us about that. Just to go things is we can't seem to upload. It has to be the right venue, it has to be the right, and it's just somewhat expensive to do these things. So we haven't quite got that together yet.
But is it something you would consider doing if you could find
the
right kind of?
Yeah, I would, because like I said, I think one of our strong points is our live performances, and we're maybe not the tightest band in the world, but we usually put on a good show, and the energy is always really high, and it's a fun show. So I think it would be cool for people to be able to see that in the privacy of their own home.
Yeah, I mean, you said you're not the tightest band live, but really, if you go and see a band and they're too tight, you might as well have just stayed at home and listened to the album. So,
exactly.
Like you said, it's better to have a fun show rather than a show that sounds as perfect as in the studio. So, and talking of live shows, are you planning to hit the UK for a full tour?
Exactly. Yeah, that would be us. That would be us. Say again.
Are you looking to hit the UK for a full tour this year?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, we're doing those 2 shows in the UK.
Yeah.
In August. But we probably would like to come back maybe in the new year in 2016, and maybe we could do a full UK tour and hit some other territories as well. Go up to maybe Glasgow and the other northern part of England as well. Maybe even hit Wales if we could. And I don't know. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, we'd definitely love you over here. I mean, I personally would love to see you guys live because I haven't had the chance yet. So,
what part of UK are you in?
I'm down in the southeast, so I'll be going to any shows you do in London. So, I might try and get along to the Queensryche gig if I can.
Yeah, you must.
Anyway, last of all, Joey, is there anything you'd like to say to all your fans out there listening tonight?
Well, I mentioned it earlier that we have a very special brand of fans that have been able to sort of roll with our punches and put up with our records, albeit some of them change musically and stylistically and sound wise and everything. But our fans stick through us through all this stuff, and they follow us, and can't do any of this without the fans, and so we are very grateful to have fans that get it, that understand what we do and that enjoy it, and so we say thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the show tonight, Joey.
Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to seeing you sometime in the future.
Yep, no problem. I said I'll try and get along to that Queensryche gig. Ladies and gentlemen, Vera from Armoured Saint. Thank you and good night.
I turn to